rolling?
It's rolling.
Perfect. Sweet. Okay, everyone ready?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Yo, what's good, YTHSOCIETY? Hey, welcome back to another video on our channel. We're beyond excited because we've been in a series all about getting pressed. Not just benching, not just squatting. No, we're talking about mental health. And so I'm excited to be accompanied here by some friends, and we're gonna be jumping into talking about depression today. And it's a really big topic. And so we're excited to really dive in on this and just share some of our experiences and maybe help give you some wisdom or some encouragement in your walk with either depression, or if it's something you're facing, or even if it's a friend and how you can help them out. So let's jump right in. Let's get it. Let's go ahead and introduce themselves. And then, go and introduce yourself, share something interesting.
Go ahead, sir.
Me?
Yeah.
What would I say about myself? I'm Yoshi. I'm a photographer.
Alright.
Oh yeah, they already know you. Hey, Matthew Pelican here. How's it going?
My guy. Love it.
I'm Desiree, and I like to sing. And I'm a mom.
There you go. Des is one of our main worshipers on our adult team, so it's sick. Yosh, one of our interns, baby. Let's go. I'm excited. But I know it's actually a really big topic, and Yosh and I go some time back, and really about talking about these kind of topics, and so I'm excited just to see even the wisdom he brings to this.
It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be very interesting. But let's jump right in, y'all. Question one: what can keep you from being motivated? So, what are some factors that really keep you from not being motivated, or from being motivated? What are some of those things someone can
Fear.
face? Okay.
Self-doubt.
Nice.
Like, just feeling lost. Like, not having direction can keep you unmotivated.
Yeah.
Like, you can know what you want, but not know how to get there, so that can keep you from being unmotivated.
Yeah, definitely.
That's huge. What about you guys? What would you say your biggest thing is that keeps you from being motivated?
I would say fear again, because then for me, fear would lead to anxiety because I'm overthinking something. And so instead of being motivated to something, a dream that I want to aspire to, I end up freaking out because of a thought. And then it leads to me just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things I wanted to do when I was younger, and I did it because of fear.
That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, like I said again, me is self-doubt because being in the creative industry, being in the fitness industry, there's a lot of self-doubt that I have for myself. Like, is my photos even worthy? Are my videos even worthy?
Yeah.
Am I even creating at the right time, at the right pace? Am I creating for the right type of people?
That's
Am I
good.
doing what's needed for my clients? In the fitness industry, for you guys who know that I do lifting, putting 400 pounds on my back, you can't say I can't do this, then break my back.
Yeah.
So
Not a good look.
which I did break my back last year, but it's self-doubt that really gets to me because the biggest thing is that whenever I'm editing or whenever I'm by myself is that I'm always by myself. Mm-hmm. So if you're not motivating yourself, then how are you going to take that first step forward?
Yeah. As we're talking about like motivation, I'm thinking like, man, one of my mentors was like, motivation is overrated. And I was like, what? I was like, no, you need motivation. And he was like, no, you don't. He was like, you need a plan. Yeah. And he was like, because when motivation isn't there, consistency kicks in.
Yeah.
And so like for me, when I'm not feeling motivated, I ask myself, how often have I done this thing that I'm chasing after that I'm supposed to be doing? So like, what habits have I created when I was motivated?
Yeah.
Because that pushed me over like, okay, even it's almost like with Yoshi, like me and Yoshi, we talk about lifting weights and stuff all the time. So for me, going to the gym is like brushing my teeth. But if I don't go to the gym that often, I can convince myself and have the fear, have the self-doubt, and just be like, and just say, I can skip today and tomorrow, and then, you know what I mean?
It builds up.
Yeah, it just builds. It's like those slow things that build up. And so, like for me, when like I'll say one of my biggest things is is the not knowing how to make it happen. So I like me though, like because I'm competitive, the competitive nature kicks in and says, yeah, you don't know how to do it anyways. And I'm like, okay, and then I just ask a lot of questions. But like, I'll definitely say like, there's been times where I'm like, I want to do it, then self-doubt, then fear kicks in, and I'm like, and I just stop.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
I definitely hear you when you say the plan thing, because my dad tells all of us that all the time. For the whole motivation thing, I feel like I've had fear, self-doubt, and just the whole feeling lost. Because, I mean, for me at least, a lot has happened in like a short amount of time. So I felt all that at once, it feels like. And then I just went and isolated myself. And that definitely did not help. So like, for me, just being able to be in a group setting, being able to connect with people has helped me grow my motivation again.
That's really good.
I love that.
Huge. I know you just brought up that plan. I think that's very huge. I know for a lot of us, we try to live by the motivation or passion or really just those inspirations, and those things are great, but like at the end of the day, you're always like those things are going to keep you going, and so they're great to push you at the beginning, but they won't hold you through. And I love the idea of a plan, and that's so huge for a lot of our lives, because I know someone was talking about one time, I heard is we shouldn't live by motivation, inspiration, rather dedication, and so or commitment. And it's like setting that plan to really so that we can hone in and actually use the motivation times. Because there's times you're not motivated. There's times that the fear will try to hold you back. But if you have that plan to stay like connected to, that you're gonna always know where you need to be going. So that's so huge. That's so huge. I know one big thing for myself is like when I start falling off my plan or I start getting depressed, one thing I know is I start getting either sad or there's like a frustration because I know what I want to do. What are some things that you guys do to really comfort you in those seasons of maybe you're sad or you're frustrated and you're going through stuff?
I think for me, like, whenever I feel sad, like, and Des said she's a mom, so and you guys have probably seen my kids from time to time, like, I'll go play with my kids. Like, that's what pulls me out of, like, any type of, like, sadness for me. Like, I get joy listening. Like, my son's laugh is, like, the most epic laugh in the world. Like, I love his laugh. Or just seeing how excited, like, my daughter may get just by saying, like, hey, come on, let's go get some ice cream. And she's like, for real? Let's go get ice cream. I'm like, all right, cool, let's roll. Because, like, I'm like, it's not, their joy jumps off of me because they don't have a care in the world. Like, I'm like, man, I need that again. Like, I don't want no cares in the world. And so, like, I think for me, like, those are some of the things that I'll use. Or, you know, sometimes, like, I just try to get up early in the morning and I'll spend time with God and just go for, like, a 15, 20-minute walk and just be quiet. Like, I think a lot of times, like, when we pray, we all, like, we're the ones talking, and then once we're done praying, we're like, all right, I'm done. And God's like, I didn't even get a chance to even tell you what you were asking for. Like, so we forget the meditation part, right? And so, like, we're praying, but we're not meditating. And so my mornings are more of meditation than it is me praying. You know what I mean? So I think those are the two things that I use.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'd say first I feed into it and like play some sad music and all that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But then I snap out of it and like I like realize like, dang, what am I doing? Like I'm not doing anything, and that's sad. Like what am I gonna produce for my future? So then like thinking that like snaps me out of it and like makes me hit up Ray and hit up somebody to just talk things out, and then like, all right, let's bust it out. Let's do something. Let's go shoot hoops. Let's do something.
Yeah, that's good. I think for me, coming out of a season of being sad for like a year, I think, dealing with my cousin passing was huge, and I was stuck, and I felt really stuck, and I would come home from work and I'd go to sleep. and I'd get out of bed and it all felt like a cycle and it felt like a dream and a routine. And so I had to talk to somebody and I had to go to a doctor and ask them for help. And so I started talking to a doctor who told me, get around your friends, like start being with people. So I would be like, hey, let's go get something to eat. And during the pandemic was hard. I know all of you guys weren't able to hang out in person and do things. So that was really, really hard to try to connect with people during that time. But right now we're able to. And so I think if anyone's feeling this way right now where you feel sad, try to be with people, one person, two people, call your leaders, call somebody and just like let them know how you're feeling and then, know like, hey, let's go do something. Yeah. I think it's important to get out, breathe. Go outside and breathe the air and remember that you're alive and you're here. Like feel, don't just stay stuck in being sad because there is a season for that, right? It's okay to be sad and to cry and all those things, but don't stay stuck in that. It's really important to just get up, go outside, and even if you're walking, go walk.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, for sure.
On my behalf, that's great what Desiree said. Just getting out. That's what I like to do personally. I'll go out and just drive out to like nature. Since we're here in the valley, there's like hikes everywhere. Yeah. So I'm that crazy person who would do hikes during the summer still.
Praise his name. I'm going to seek the Lord.
I personally plan on going up to the tramway just by myself. Like just bring out my camera, be in nature, listen, hear God's word out in the clear nature. I remember a few times I'll be going out to Whitewater, to the preserve out there, just walk out there, bring a book, bring a journal, just free minded out there. Right down the street from my house on, was it 42 and Golf Center? There's that one hiking trail. Okay. At the cross by the canal and stuff. I just go out there if anything, but it's me getting out in nature. Because where I grew up in Sacramento, it was just all country. So like being out in nature, nice wide open, just getting that nice fresh air for once, getting the nice breather, getting away from electronics, just me out there. Yeah, that's big. Especially nowadays, just being on phones, on computers nowadays, just being out there. I'll just sit there, just like do nothing. Yeah. I'll bring my camera, I'll bring my drone in my backpack, but most of the time I don't even touch it. I'll just sit there. Good. It's just getting that nice fresh air, just like how you said. Sometimes I'll bring a friend or two, but most of the time, if it's for me, strictly for me, I'll just go on my own.
It's good.
Yeah. So it seems like those are like all big self-cares of like going out and doing something. I want to take a pause in that and like, what is like for you guys, like if you're able to go do one thing right now, like let's say you're sad, you're going through it, and someone presented you the opportunity to go do one thing right now. Like you've never done it before, you've always wanted to do it. What would that be?
Say that one more time.
Like
if you could do anything that you've never done.
Let's say you're going through it, and your homeboy calls you up. Look, I don't know what it is, but I got one opportunity to go do that one thing you've always wanted to do. Like, what would that one thing be?
Go to Japan.
Yes! Okay. Are you kidding? That's literally what I've been wanting to do. Like literally lately is Japan.
Dude,
but the borders are closed.
I love it. Like,
Japan or Hawaii?
Like, I would probably say I would want to go to like France or Italy or something like that. Like I just, I just want to travel.
I'm going to say something random. People don't know, but I want to go like Northern Ireland. So this is like Northern
Ireland. That's why you and Deb get along so well.
So Iceland, it's like it's literally like a videographer's heaven. Yeah, like literally like waterfalls.
It's like peace though.
Like, it's like the edge of earth. Like it's crazy. Like literally you have cliffs and literally just water. That's like beautiful. Cliffs. So it's like crazy. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of. There's a lot of things I want to do. I mean, with everything opening up, it's kind of concert photography. That's one thing I've always fell in love with.
Like festivals.
Yeah, but I mean, traveling. Yeah, I'll do that any day. Yeah. I'll like if someone says, "Hey, I got a ticket to go to Hawaii or Philippines." You down? Without a doubt.
Yeah. That's huge. I think it's funny thing is like everyone says that like, yo, I want to go somewhere. Like it's not even like all of us had an idea of what we want to do, but it's all about like going somewhere. Yeah. I think in the day, like for a lot of us, sometimes we get so caught up in just what we see right now that we have dreams of like, yo, we want to go see something beyond what we're looking at right now in the situation. Yeah. And I know that's huge. I think that's a self-care. I think that's something people have to go do. Like I like to encourage some of my friends, like go travel then, go do it. You know, like as long as it's healthy and it's like cool, like not just. Sometimes it's escaping, you're just running, but like, go take some planning. Yeah. All right, take off work that weekend, Yeah. Got 2 people you can trust and go with and hang out and.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all though, There gonna be people that are gonna flake. If they flake, still go.
Yes.
Go.
That's big. That's really big.
Because I've met so many people where they've missed out on going to like Japan or going to France or going to Hawaii because their friends is like, oh, I can't make it or I can't afford it. But if you can afford it, then go.
Yeah.
Like take your time. Like we have the phones where we can go find out where all the touristy stuff is and talk to the people. So like if I can encourage you guys with anything, like travel, whether they say yes or no, that they want to roll with you because you're gonna have the experience, and then you can really do what you want to do, and you ain't gotta worry about I don't want to do that. Well, too bad. It's way here. I'm doing what I want to do anyway. So like travel if you have it, and there's so many smart ways to travel. So yeah, dude. Like I think it's huge at a young age. If like you're single, you don't have kids. Go. Like I heard one of my mentors said this. He said the Bible molds you, people stretch you. Mm-hmm. The more people you get around, the more you're gonna get stretched to do greater things and just become greater. And so I think the more you travel, the more culture you become, the more you understand. Like me going to Israel, like blew my mind to what the Bible says now. Had I not had that opportunity, I wouldn't have that experience in really looking at the Bible the way I look at it now. So, travel.
Oh, obviously we have high schoolers though, so too, like I know that they probably can't go to
Disneyland.
But no, go on an adventure. Go grab some bikes. Go. I know it's hot out here. I know it is, but like go on an adventure. Like
go to the beach.
Go to the beach.
The beach, Dana Point.
Go to the beach. Rest some boogie boards.
Talk to your parents. Do not
rest some boogie boards.
Don't ditch. Don't ditch.
No, this is on a weekend or when you have no school.
I know we're starting school soon, but it's all right. But I know we really love and I know our generation, we love devices, we love all that stuff. And I know personally, this past week I actually head to Louisiana, and I literally didn't bring my camera, I didn't bring my laptop, I literally was hardly on my phone. I just said no, like I'm putting all these things to the side, and so those are big self-cares. I think we're all aware that it's like you need to spend time outside of your normal environment, in the sense of like taking a breather from it. You know, like you like to go to nature, and how we all say we go travel somewhere. It's so important. And so I know we're getting close on time, and I really got to ask this last question for you guys. I think this is one that's really gonna hit home. Have you ever been depressed? If so, how did you get out? Like, if you give me a moment of time where you say, man, like that's when it was hitting. Like, you know, I was in my Drake. I was on my Get Beyond, meet me at the bar. She didn't meet me there. You know, meet me at the beat. Nah, but that some people that is their time of depression. And those little moments of you say like, hey man, I was going through it. Maybe people didn't even know. Like, what would you say like in that season? Was it something that took a long time to get out of? Was it short? Was it a step-based thing?
I think I could personally attack on this for the youth is that I was back in 2015. I was really depressed. I mean, I was depressed. Yeah. I was really depressed for about 5 or 6 months for a good half year. So, I mean, with all that, I was like really dousing myself in things that I shouldn't have been doing. And people saw that. Like it really did affect my body actions, my language, the way how I spoke to others. I was 23 now, 2015. So I was like, how old are we in like junior year? Junior year?
16.
We're like 16. Yeah, so I was like about 15, 16 at the age. Doing a lot of worldly stuff and just nonstop consuming things that I should have not been doing. And I found myself really depressed. I had suicidal thoughts, and it was to the point to where I attempted twice. And thankfully, to this day, I'm still here. And what really got me to getting out of that hole, I was really feeling myself, I dig myself into a hole to where I didn't feel like I was going to get out. There's about 4 people in my life that really shook me in my life. It's Gio, Randy, Josh, and my buddy Block. Those are like, and it's crazy too because all those 4 people, they also play a big role in my life today. As I'm 23 years later. My buddy Block shook my backpack in high school. Was like, "What is wrong with you? You're not laughing. You're not being annoying." Randy did the same thing. She talked to me at church. Josh as well, Gio too, but it took the willingness of myself to reach out to the right people at the right time and place, even though I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Being depressed and sad at that time, it was such a shocking time because growing up, I was always happy. And being depressed, it was something new to me, and I just got comfortable with it. Mm-hmm. To the point to where I didn't want to reach out to people, but I said, hey, this is not feeling right. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to the right people. They got me going in the right direction. It took a lot of slaps to the face because I was really arrogant and I thought I knew everything. But that same year, I went to a youth conference in Las Vegas. Who knew I could find Jesus in Vegas? Yeah, it's what they call it Sin City. Yeah. So I mean, that's where I rededicated my life at Dedicated Conference. Dedicated Conference back in 2015, and that's where everything started. So I mean, going back to the question, it's just really reaching out to the right people. You finding yourself in that season of depression, you need to reach out to the right people. If you think they are, do it. If you keep questioning yourself, do it. It's not going to hurt you to do it.
I love that.
That's really good.
I love that. I think, like, just really quick for me, like, I didn't realize I was depressed until I was actually taking a class, and it was called crisis management, and they were talking about all these different like ways of depression and like how to talk to youth. And in the midst of them talking about it, I was like, bro, that's me right now. Like I was in shock because when I was growing up, I thought depression was like, well, it's me, like trying to, deep, dark depression. But you don't realize that depression is literally you not being you. Right. Like how Yoshi said, like, I'm not laughing anymore. I'm not wanting to be around my friends like how I wanted to. Like anybody that knows me knows like I love to talk, right? So like I was not talking. I would just sit in my cubicle and nobody said anything until my wife was like, how come you're not telling me about your day at work anymore? Like what's going on with you? Like what's good? And then as I was watching, I literally started like crying in the class because they were talking about everything that I was going through in that moment. And I'm like, as I'm supposed to be learning in the class, I'm being healed in the class. But one of the things that happened in the class was I turned to one of my best friends that was taking the class with me, and I was like, bro, we need to talk. And he was like, what's up? And I started explaining to him everything that was going on. And he was like, well, then we need to go to our senior pastor and you need to take a break. He was like, because it sounds like you're just on empty. You have nothing left. And so that made me say, okay, I'm done. And so I took a vacation with my wife and my kids, and I came back recharged, rejuvenated. It was because I was just running and I never came up for air. And sometimes I think how we talked about earlier, where it's like, just get away. And that's what I needed because I'm a natural just go. And I needed to pull away. And thankfully in that class, it helped me understand like, hey, these are triggers, understanding like, okay, this is normally how I am. I'm not there right now. How do I fill that gap in with good things that are from God, that are good for me? Because sometimes we get around things that are good, but they're not good for me in the season that we're in. So
yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I went through a hard breakup, and yeah, that was very hard. That was my first relationship. Shout out all the high school relationships that made it. So yeah, it was pretty hard, and I isolated myself pretty hard, and yeah, didn't really talk to anyone. Even stopped going to church for a while because I felt I needed that much of a break. At least that was my thinking. But luckily I had friends that came down from LA during this time, and then they were like, "Yo, what are you doing? We're in town." And then yeah, just being able to talk out my feelings is what helped me a lot. And yeah, that's what I'd say. Just talking it out.
It's huge. That's good. Oh, so I guess what I was talking about earlier, my cousin died by suicide, and so he was dealing with depression, and so when that happened, I feel like I started kind of going that direction. Not feeling thoughts of suicide, but I think felt depressed for a good hot 6 months. And I think I isolated myself and I pulled away and I kind of started being, secluded. And I think one of the biggest things, if I could say anything, is when you do feel like you're starting to go in a shell and you feel yourself pulling away from your friends and the things that you like to do, I think that's when you should run to them. And that's when you should run to, like I said before, run to a leader, run to one of the pastors, call a teacher, someone that you know that has influence and that can actually help you. Go to them. Or if you have a friend that you feel really confident in, don't be afraid for people to find out. There's no shame in saying that you're sad. There's no shame in saying that you're depressed or you have anxiety. There's no shame in any of that. If anything, we want to help. Yeah. Right? If you don't know anybody else, but you see us on the camera, come to one of us, find us. Yeah. We will definitely point you in the right direction. Yeah. And I think it's so important what Matt said, talking is gonna help bring healing to your heart. And whatever it is that you're dealing with, when you release it, it's so much easier to feel the weight come off.
We will give you that ear to listen to.
100%.
We will give you that ear to listen to. 100%. If you don't think, we will.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I thought back then was that nobody knows what I'm going through. No one knows what I'm going through. Yeah. No one wants to hear what I want to say. Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
I was like, what? You want to hear me?
We all love you guys and we want the best for you guys. And everyone at this church does. And our goal is to help you get to your next step. And so if you're in a season that's hard right now, reach out. I think that's big.
Yeah.
I think it's huge. I think there's two keys out of everyone's for sure stories here. Is really, I think the two is, of course, friendship, and having those close friends, but also awareness. I think those two things are key. And really, you guys all brought up this idea of community, and I think it's so important to talk about that because with depression, of course, it's isolation. And Pastor Abed talks about it so much. And if you guys have been in some of our main services, I know we're launching our youth Sunday services. So make sure you join us. But I know in the main, Pastor Abed really talked about, he said that the first conflict in the Bible was never sin, like in the sense of eating the apple. The first conflict was isolation. And it was Eve by herself, and that's when the enemy got to speak to her more and more in an intimate level. It wasn't just this far voice; it was an intimate voice that was literally telling her what's wrong with her life, what's wrong with her, and what she needed. I mean, and what the enemy wanted her to think that she needed versus what she actually needed was God. Right. And so it's so huge. I think that all you guys brought that up because I think we're all built off of community. Like our body literally craves it. Like if you think about a baby, like when they talk about a baby, literally dies when it doesn't have someone there to nurture and comfort it because it's community. We're built off of that. Yeah. Like literally in our DNA and the way our mind works. And so that's so huge. And the next one, I know Yosh, you said you had someone who brought awareness. And Matt, you said someone that you were able to talk about the feelings. And I think that to have those friends around you to bring the awareness because
accountability is a big key. That's a big key to where it comes to like this big series, depression, anxiety, suicidal. Accountability is the biggest thing because if you're gonna do everything on your own, it's really dangerous.
It's hard.
Just like I said, me and Ray has gone back through so many times to where there are times I want to fight you. There are times I wanted to fight you, but you did help me back. You did help me back by a lot by keeping me calm and still at a lot of times and comfort me at X, Y, and Z times, and really do appreciate that.
Of course. And so if you guys are someone that's dealing with that, we'd love for you guys to reach out to us. You can also get us on Instagram at YTHSOCIETY and reach out because don't worry, we're gonna send someone that can connect with you and knows like you've seen all of us have different experiences. Depression doesn't come in just one form. You may not know about it. You may be someone that doesn't know about it at all, and you may have some effects of it. You may be someone that gets it from a heartbreak. You may get someone that's battled it for years, or someone that's like, man, like this friends of my family. And at the end of the day, we're here for you. And the biggest thing is community. And it's not saying we have the right answers and we're going to tell you exactly how to get out of it, but you need people that are on a journey with you in this fight because at the end of the day, you're stronger in numbers. And so we want to say, hey, we love you guys and hope you guys are enjoying this series. We're going strong. We got one more youth night and we're excited for our new series coming up. But we can't announce that yet. Make sure you get it. Yeah,
it almost came out.
It almost came out. But You can catch that on social media. Yo, we love you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
And hey, have an amazing night if you're watching it tonight. Have an amazing day if you're watching it today. If you're watching it in the morning, good stuff.
morning.
I see you. Good morning. We love you guys so much, and we'll talk to you.
Bye.